In every sport, there are sophisticated ways of cheating. Athletes use doping, bribe referees, employ non-standard sports equipment, and find clever ways to gain an advantage. Esports is no exception to this. But here, cheating takes on a unique form: the use of banned software. According to Wikipedia stats, Valve and third-party leagues have banned more than 100 professional players for using banned software, with their guilt proven beyond doubt. How many cheaters remain undetected in the professional scene, and who escaped being caught in the past, is anyone's guess. We've released videos on our channel about cheating in esports and the Faceit League, and today, we'll tell you about professional players who were banned for using unauthorized software. Referring to our video about Faceit cheats, which we highly recommend watching, cheating the anti-cheat systems is not as difficult as it might seem. Professional players often turn to developers who specialize in this field, who are well versed in Steam exploits, the Windows system, and the mechanics of anti-cheat software. These developers do most of the work, while professionals just use their solutions. Contacts for such developers are often found through connections, starting with well-known cheat creators who can recommend lesser-known but reliable specialists. The cost of software varies significantly. For example, there may be an initial entry fee of several $1,000s, followed by a monthly subscription for using the cheat. There can be agreements where the developer receives a percentage of the prize money won by the player. Everything depends on the terms set by the cheat developer. In some cases, players are required to provide their passport information. It's worth noting that when using cheats at a professional level, the player becomes entirely dependent on the software developer. If an agreement is violated or payments aren't made, the developer can expose the player. Have you considered that players who received a VAC ban might not have been caught by the anti-cheat software itself, but were outed by the developer after a breach of agreement, possibly by updating the software to remove its protection? We'd also like to present an interesting thought. Do you believe cheating in esports is always an individual decision, with no one else involved? Have you ever considered that teammates, team management, or even tournament administrators might be aware of, or even support, a player's cheating? Imagine an organization not only knowing, but encouraging a player's use of cheats by negotiating with the cheat developer and hiring someone from the tournament administration to prepare the player's PC for the software. In this video, we're relying on publicly available information, but the true extent of these activities remains speculative. But let's not dive too deep into these theories. There are plenty of ways to cheat, from using DMA cards in online tournaments to exploiting Steam vulnerabilities in offline events, all providing opportunities to use cheats in professional play. However, not everyone was so clever. Forsaken, an Indian player for Optic India, was caught using cheats during the offline Extremelands 2018 tournament, which had a $100,000 prize pool. Tournament admins became suspicious after, let's call them questionable shots, and decided to inspect his computer. It turned out that third-party software was indeed installed on his system. The moment when Forsaken was caught became a meme, even though there's nothing funny about using illegal software in an offline tournament right in front of your opponents. However, just look at Forsaken's reaction when the admin noticed something suspicious. On his computer, they found a program titled word.exe. Judging by his reaction, it seemed like he was trying to cover up his tracks, but according to Forsaken in an interview, he only wanted to close the file window that the admin had opened. This cheating case is widely known in the CS community, but let's clarify a few things. Many popular videos and articles claim that the admin recovered deleted files, including a cheat folder, but this is incorrect. In reality, the admin found a temporary folder left over from the archive that contained the cheating software. We believe Forsaken downloaded the cheat via a CS exploit that allowed embedding a .rar archive into a map loading image. The cheat likely lacked a visible check feature, so the aimbot triggered even when the opponent wasn't visible. Why was this feature missing? Perhaps the cheat developer wanted to reduce memory usage, or simply didn't care to add it. Additionally, the developer didn't include automatic deletion of evidence. We assume Forsaken used an external cheat that activated the aimbot upon clicking the left mouse button. Forsaken's cheating scandal severely impacted Indian esports. Optic disbanded its Indian division, and his teammates were left without a team, unable to advance in global esports. So, the story isn't as amusing as it may seem at first glance. Another case involves Emilio, a player for Property in 2014, who stands in stark contrast to Forsaken. Unlike Forsaken, where the admins caught him red-handed, Emilio was banned by VAC during the Fragbite Masters Season 3 tournament against Hellraisers. The tournament organizers gave Emilio's team 48 hours to prove his innocence. Emilio claimed he didn't use cheats, blaming the ban on a friend. Honestly, Emilio's comments are confusing. First, he said a real-life friend played on his account with cheats, and then he claimed he didn't know that VAC bans could affect all accounts. But what are the other accounts? Accounts that were accessed from the same computer? Valve has never applied hardware ID bans. Accounts linked to the same phone number? Yes, if one account gets banned, all other accounts linked to that number will also be banned. But why would a professional player give out their phone number for linking? Moreover, we found that at that time, Emilio had around 10 friends with VAC bans. Whether he was really cheating or not, decide for yourselves. Now, let's move on to the next professional player. VSM was one of the most talented Brazilian players, competing for one of the top teams in his region, Daytona. As one of the most promising players in Brazil, VSM received a permanent ban from Valve in November 2018 after an investigation by ESL regarding an old Steam account with a VAC ban, which was said to belong to the player himself. Even though VSM was 19 at the time and the VAC ban had occurred about 6 years earlier, Valve remained firm in their decision, keeping the ban despite significant support from the community and other professionals. In April 2021, the player was finally unbanned. Valve introduced a new policy that allowed players to compete in major tournaments if their VAC ban had lasted more than 5 years. However, VSM's return to esports wasn't as successful as expected. He struggled to regain his former shape and never quite reached the peak he had once achieved in his career. We believe there should be a statute of limitations for these kinds of mistakes. Valve's rules currently lack this provision, and it's something that could be improved. As always, such things should be approached reasonably. How fair is it to ban a 19-year-old player for something he did when he was just 13? Share your thoughts in the comments. Now, let's move on to one of the most infamous cheating scandals, the ban of Titan's star player, KQLY. At the time, the French organization spent a considerable amount to acquire KQLY, Maniac, and Apex. The players were previously with LDLC, and back then, DreamHack 2014 tournament spots were secured by the players, not the organizations. Essentially, the French team bought their way into a major. However, just as they were preparing for the big tournament, on November 20, 2014, KQLY received a VAC ban just 9 days before the major. The next day, KQLY admitted to using cheats and apologized to his fans and team. He explained that a programmer had approached him in late August 2014, offering cheats, claiming that many pros were using similar software, and KQLY agreed. According to him, he only used the cheat for 7 days and only in matchmaking. Naturally, the community didn't believe him, and every shot and win he had made was now under suspicion. As far as we know, VAC bans could indeed be delayed at the time, especially 8 years ago, when Valve used behavioral analysis of all programs running on a user's computer, leading to what was known as ban waves. KQLY's ban was one of the main reasons for the downfall of Titan. By January 13, 2016, the team had disbanded due to financial difficulties, as sponsors turned their backs on the organization, not wanting to be associated with a team that had housed a cheater. Just like with Forsaken, the actions of one person cost many others their jobs and career opportunities in esports. We should also mention one of the top teams right now, MOUZ. 2 of its current players have passed VAC bans. Yimput, who was VAC banned on January 26, 2018, before starting his professional career, and Torshi, who received his ban back in 2016. Despite their history, both players now compete at the highest level, raising questions about how past infractions impact professional careers. These players received their VAC bans in CSGO. But what about CS2? A memorable incident occurred with Swedish player Joel from BC Game. On August 4, 2024, Joel was banned by the Acros anti-cheat just minutes before a match against Bait at the CCT Europe Series 7. Acros reported that their system detected several cheat functions, including ESP, aimbot, and triggerbot. According to Acros, the detected software was designed for competitive play and could have gone unnoticed for a long time because it launched before the operating system. Joel firmly denied the cheating allegations, claiming he had never used cheats and insisted on his honesty. However, his record raises some concerns. In 2023, Joel was suspended for 7 months by the Esports Integrity Commission (ESIC) for betting on his own matches, though no concrete evidence was found at the time. It's worth noting that Acros' developers commented that Joel used a kernel mode cheat, a type of driver we discussed in our video on Faceit cheats. These programs are extremely difficult to detect, although it is possible. To talk about every professional player caught cheating would take hours. We hope that if we ever decide to make such a video, its length won't keep growing. In other words, let's hope that these incidents become fewer and fewer in the future. It's important to remember that esports is a business. It involves the organization, teammates, sponsors, and partners. When someone cheats, they're not just jeopardizing themselves, they're betraying the trust of everyone who believed in them. We support cheating only on HVH servers, where everyone is on equal footing, not in professional matches or against honest players. We'll be waiting for your comments below this video. You might point out some important points we missed. Feel free to also share topics you'd like to learn about in future videos. Throughout this video, we've hidden several Easter eggs containing subscription activation codes, and we're starting a giveaway for all commenters. The rules are simple: like the video, subscribe to our channel, and leave a meaningful comment with your neverlose username at the end of it. Thank you for watching. This has been the Neverlose team. Stay tuned for more insights in our upcoming videos.